Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and might be the last review I'll do for tonight. It is of Watchers 2. Now, I've done a review of Watchers 1, and I am a fan of these movies. I grew up with these movies, so you may say, well, it's nostalgia talking. That may be the case. But they're low budget, they were produced by Roger Corman, and I was entertained by them, and I read the book, and I'm not a fan of the book, but I'm a fan of these two movies. But Watchers 2 was always my favorite of the films. And it's not really a sequel in the fact that it's pretty much sort of a do-over of the story of the first film. And I was fine with that. Basically starts off with animal testing place where Tracy Scoggins works. And Tracy Scoggins deals with animals, deals with pets and stuff. And she's teaching this dog named Einstein, the alphabet and how to do this and that, and the dog seems like just a dumb, typical, normal dog. So she's getting nowhere with that. And in secret, the head doctor, he is doing these experiments on this creature called the outsider. And basically what's happening, these NSA agents come down and Tracy Scott doesn't know what's up, and they go in without permission, really, and ultimately get their asses killed by the outsider. And so the head doctor guy goes in, and he's like, "Oh shit, gotta cover this shit up." But Mary Warrenoff, actually an actress who's been in a few Roger Corman produced flicks, among others. Then she was in Chopping Mall. She was in the film Eating Raoul. She comes in, and I think it's her. I believe that's her, saying that you gotta stop this. We're not going to do this anymore. We're going to kill the creations, including the outsider. Head doctor guy doesn't like that, so he hires some random folks on the outside to, okay, you guys gonna break in, you're gonna free these animals. Um, Basically the guy's gonna use that break in and sneak the creature out. But of course, things get fucked up. The head doctor guy gets knocked out. The stupid asses who break in, they go to the outsider, they get their asses killed, and the outsider escapes. And then we're introduced to Marc Singer, who is one of the main reasons why I enjoy this film, because I like Marc Singer. He was on the TV show V, the original series. He was in, of course, The Beastmaster. This is always my favorite role that he's played as Paul Ferguson, which to me, this is more like, if any of them are like the novel, it'd probably be this one, because the lead guy in the novel was a guy who was of military form, was an older man who met up with the dog. But really, I'm not a fan of the novel. I could get into a whole spiel on that. But I really like Marc Singer's character because he has funny dialogue. I really like his presence. I really like his performance. Like he's being taken to, uh, he's with the MPs, military police, and he's like, well, "How did you get in jail?" And Marc Singer says, "Oh, I was slugging a superior officer." "Why'd you do that?" "Well, what can I say? He was an asshole." And the guy says, "Well, you can't just punch every asshole in the Marines." You know, God, I forgot the damn line of dialogue. Shit. You know, It'll make your knuckles raw or something like that. But long story short, there's a dot in the road, and the military MPs are being assholes trying to hit it, and Marc Singer thinks that's fucked up and says, "Hey, stop that!" And they go off the road, and the guy's like getting pissed at him, but then there's something out there, and the stupid asshole walks off while Marc Singer, he's handcuffed, he can't go anywhere. And I always liked how this scene developed. I always liked how this scene played out, even as a little kid, when um, there's no music. The guy walks off into the darkness, and you just hear gunshots and a scream, and then he kind of falls into view of the headlights. First, his helmet sort of falls, and rolls over, and then his body just falls, sort of reveals itself, its dead body. And I always just like the way it was played out. I don't know how they explain it. Maybe it's not much to anyone else, but I really liked it. And the dog's there, Einstein, who hears that he's trying to get the keys, and the dog actually helps him, gets the keys, and gives it to Marc Singer. And then Alstar kills this other MP, and basically they get the fuck out of there, and they go to Marc Singer, his pretty much his ex-wife, Sarah, who the actress, Irene Miracle is the actress, and I really liked Marc Singer and Irene Miracle's back and forth. It shows that he still cares for her, and she does still care for him, but it doesn't get sappy. I thought it was pretty humorous at times and funny. They had a good back and forth. You could tell that these guys used to like each other, these characters, and you really like this girl because she doesn't have to, but she still tell that she's still in love with this guy, even though she's with this other guy. And she helps him out, and that was like very sweet because it's okay, you really care about this person. It's not just a bitch, not just she doesn't believe the guy. Of course, that's typical. No, she does believe him to a point. She believes that he didn't do anything wrong. I just really like these characters. I think that's one reason why I enjoy this film. Uh, Einstein, the dog, the character of the dog, really like the first one. They did a good job training the dog to appear to be as smart as a human. And basically, it's these Marc Singer, this dog, being chased by this outsider creature. Ultimately, finding Tracy Scoggins and going off to meet with her. And find out that the whole experiment was these doctors had, without Tracy Scoggins' knowledge, kind of like the first film where they bred a dog who would go into an enemy camp, and then they have a creature that follows the dog and goes into the camp and kills whoever is there. So wherever Marc Singer and the dog is going now, the creature is following suit. And I mean, that's the plot of the film. I'll get into more spoilers to particularly tell why I enjoy this film, but I like Marc Singer, I like Tracy Scoggins, I like the dog. The creature is pretty much, the director took the creature and Terror Within and put it in this movie. It's pretty much the same damn creature. And yeah, it's not the best looking creature, and you could tell it's a guy in a suit. But it's a Roger Corman production. I knew that going in. And I think of the four films, I would say this is the one that probably looks the most decent of the four Watchers films, and I hate Watchers 4. But I mean, they are low budget, but like a few people have said, effects don't make a movie. If the movie's entertaining because of the characters, which I think it is, if you have a memorable dialogue, like a scene where Marc Singer is traveling with Tracy Scoggins and explaining why he was arrested before, why he was with the MPs, he's like, yeah, I was with this commanding officer, real REMF. What's REMF? A rear echelon motherfucker. And explain the story about how they were on a training exercise and the asshole command officer got the wrong coordinates, and like someone got their legs blown off. So Marc Singer had punched the guy because the guy was fucked up on a training exercise, and that's why he was in the MPs. So that's what I mean. You get a little bit of character moments that I really appreciated. Decently paced. Movie's 80, 90 minutes. This is my kind of creature feature. Yes, he's cliche. Yes, you've seen him before. But, hey, it ends with Marc Singer getting a shotgun and shooting the shit out of the creature. Blowing it. So, sometimes I'm not too hard to please. And that is really what I needed. I like the score, especially at the end credits. That... Dun, 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 ba, dun, dun, dun. I really like that piece of the score. And getting to the effects, granted, the creature effects are not the best, but I prefer them to the CGI on Sci-Fi Channel. I'll put it that way. I rather take these than those. Uh, and I don't know. There's the cliche. Okay, the hero goes into the sewer, but I liked it. I mean, when I was a kid, that was the first times I saw that kind of stuff, and that's my kind of movie. I like the sewer, the bit in the sewers where yes, you've seen it done many times before, but I thought it was well done. I love the deep gash that Marc Singer gets, really bloody gash. And the film itself is not entirely bloody, but overall, you know, I wouldn't call it a gory film at all, really. But what can I say? I like Marc Singer. I like Tracy Scoggins. I liked, hey, the creature was practical. Wasn't the best looking creature, but oh well. I like the idea behind Watchers. I like the idea. I like the dog, dog as smart as a human. I like the sequence in the motel scene where Marcine's about ready to turn himself in, and then Dodd hands up the phone, and he's like, "You stupid Dodd, you just hung up on a colonel." He's trying to do it again, and it's because the Dodd knows what he's doing that he hangs up, and he's like, "You can't be serious." Then he calls again, but he calls for a pizza, and he like puts all these vegetable toppings, and then Dodd is like getting pissed, and he's like, then he says like all the meat toppings, and the Dodd doesn't say anything. And then there's like a piece of dog. There's like a piece of dialogue that's like, the dog's acting like a dog, and then he's like, "Well, you're so goddamn smart. You tell me what is my next move." And then that's how they get to Tracy Scoggins. I thought, they have some pretty decent dialogue and decent moments with the characters, like when Marc Singer finds out that his wife is dead, and he's just shot. It's not all the time or anything like that. It's just like, just shot about. He's heard that because I guess I'm getting the spoilers. Fuck it. Uh, he finds out that his wife has been killed, and in fact, the cops find her head stuffed down the toilet, eyes gouged out. Um, and then there's a few moments of stuff going on, like I like the bit with the dog getting a pencil and typing on the computer. Uh, and then you have another moment where, again, you get the idea that Marc Singer his character is actually affected that this girl he loved is dead. They actually get into that. And then later on, they go into why he must hunt the creature down. He says, well, I'll keep running forever, and da da da. But it still stays with that revenge part of, and I want it. It's the least I could do for Sarah, his, girl that he loved. Or like when they try to visit the doctor guy without knowing that he was the cause of it, wanting answers. They see that the creature's back there, and Marc Singer does the natural thing. He gets something, he's ready to go at it. He's pissed. He wants to beat the shit out of it. But she holds him back, and they run off. And the movie ends with no sequel bait, no downer ending. When the monster's dead, the movie's over. Marc Singer fucking knifes the motherfucker, shotguns the son bitch, right back and electrocutes the motherfucker as well. It's dead. The two and the dog go off into the distance. The movie ends with the score that I like, and like this is my kind of movie. This is my kind of creature feature. I mean, the film gets like a 3.1 on IMDb. So I just take this review with a grain of salt. Be my guest. It gets a 3.1 IMDb, so obviously I'm one of the few who enjoys the film. But I enjoy the film for what I said. I like Marc Singer. I like his character. He's a good guy. He didn't want them to kill the dog, so he swerved off. The dog is good. Tracy Scoggins is good. The creature, it's practical. It's a guy in a rubber suit. You can tell. But I'd rather go with that than CGI, sci-fi. Certain sequences, like the scene in the sewers, I liked. I thought it was a decent pace. I liked the premise. Bits of dialogue, like the girls going, dog spies and monster assassins is insane. And he's like, Martin's like, well, you did use this sort of thing in the military. But I love Watchers too. sue me. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Watchers 3.